Hello, my name is Adam. Can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Huy.
And can I see your identification?
Here you are.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask some questions about yourself. So, to begin with, can you tell me, do you have the same hobbies as your family members?
Not really. While some of my family members enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, I prefer more introspective hobbies such as reading and writing. That said, we do occasionally find common ground, like watching movies together.
Do you have a hobby that you've had since childhood?
Yes, I've been passionate about reading since I was a child. It started with simple storybooks, and over the years, my taste has evolved to include literature, psychology, and philosophy. It's a hobby that has not only entertained me, but also shaped my worldview.
Did you have any hobbies when you were a child?
Absolutely. As a child, I loved collecting stickers and drawing. I would spend hours sketching cartoon characters and designing my own little comic strips. It was a fun way to express my creativity.
Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I have several. Reading and writing are my go-to activities, but I also enjoy photography and playing the piano. These hobbies help me unwind and keep my mind engaged.
What's the difference between swimming in the pool and swimming in the sea?
Swimming in a pool is more controlled. There are no waves and the water is usually clearer. In contrast, swimming in the sea is more unpredictable due to tides and currents, but it feels more adventurous and refreshing. The salty water and the vastness of the ocean create a completely different experience.
Where do people in your country like to go swimming?
In my country, people enjoy swimming at public pools, especially in urban areas where access to natural water bodies is limited. However, during the summer, many prefer heading to beaches, lakes, or even water parks for a more relaxing and enjoyable experience.
Is it difficult to learn how to swim?
It depends. For some, it comes naturally, while others struggle, especially if they have a fear of water. However, with proper guidance and consistent practice, anyone can learn. The key is to be patient and get comfortable in the water.
What kind of advertising do you like?
I appreciate advertisements that are creative and emotionally engaging. Story-driven ads that connect with the audience on a deeper level tend to leave a lasting impression. For instance, I admire commercials that use humor or a powerful message rather than just promoting a product.
Do you like advertisements?
It depends. Some ads can be quite entertaining and even thought-provoking, while others feel intrusive, especially when they pop up unexpectedly online. If an advertisement is well-crafted and adds value, I don't mind watching it.
Is there an advertisement that made an impression on you when you were a child?
Yes, I remember a heartwarming advertisement about family values from a popular brand. It had a touching storyline that resonated with me, and even years later, I can still recall its message. It showed me that good advertising isn't just about selling, it's about creating an emotional connection.
Now, I am going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so here is your topic, and take some time to prepare.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Now you've only got 1 to 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you in the middle. Please start talking.
Well, I'd like to talk about a time I visited Chandni Chowk, a bustling market in Old Delhi, India. It was about a year ago when I went there with a couple of friends during a short trip to the city. We'd heard so much about its vibrant atmosphere and historic charm, so we decided to experience it for ourselves. The moment we stepped into the main street, I was struck by just how crowded it was. It felt like a sea of people, vendors shouting to attract customers, rickshaws weaving through the narrow lanes, and shoppers bargaining at every stall. The place was alive with energy, almost chaotic, but in an oddly fascinating way. The air was thick with the aroma of street food, like spicy chaat and sizzling kebabs, mixed with the faint scent of incense from nearby temples. Every inch of space seemed occupied. Colorful shops selling everything from jewelry to fabrics were packed tightly together, and people were constantly brushing past one another. What I did there? Well, we mostly wandered around, soaking it all in. I remember stopping at a tiny stall to try some jalebi, those sweet, syrupy swirls, and it was hands down the best I've ever had. We also haggled for a few trinkets, though I'll admit I'm not the best at bargaining. It was exhausting, honestly, because of the sheer number of people and the heat, but it was also exhilarating. I felt a mix of emotions being there. On one hand, I was overwhelmed by the noise and the lack of personal space. It's not somewhere I'd go every day. But on the other hand, I was captivated by how lively and authentic it felt. It was like stepping into a different world, one that's been thriving for centuries. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. It wasn't just a place, but an experience that stayed with me long after we left.
Okay, right. Now I'd like to ask some questions related to this topic.
Okay,
Do you think it is a good trend to have more big cities?
well, I'd say it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? On one hand, the rise of big cities reflects progress. Urbanization often brings better infrastructure, more job opportunities, and access to advanced healthcare and education. For instance, cities like Tokyo or New York are hubs of innovation and economic growth, which can uplift entire regions. However, I can't help but feel it's not all rosy. The downside is the strain it puts on resources. Think overcrowded public transport, skyrocketing housing costs, and pollution that sometimes makes the air feel unbreathable. Personally, I believe it's only a good trend if governments prioritize sustainable planning, like green spaces and efficient public systems, to balance the chaos. Otherwise, we're just building concrete jungles that might collapse under their own weight.
Do you think there are some people who enjoy crowded places?
Oh, absolutely. I say there's a certain type of person who thrives in that buzz. Some people love the energy of crowded places. It's almost like they feed off the hustle and bustle. Take extroverts, for example. They might find it exhilarating to be surrounded by others, chatting away, or soaking in the lively atmosphere of, say, a busy market or a packed festival. I reckon it's also about familiarity. Someone who's grown up in a bustling city like Mumbai might feel right at home in a crowd, whereas a village dweller might find it overwhelming. It really boils down to personality and what you're used to, don't you think?
Why do people go to crowded places?
There's a variety of reasons, I suppose, depending on the context. Often, it's about necessity. People flock to crowded places like train stations or shopping districts because they have to, for work or to get essentials. But beyond that, I'd say there's a pool of excitement or purpose. Take music concerts or sports events. People go because the sheer energy of the crowd amplifies the experience. It's something you just can't replicate alone. Then there's the social aspect. Crowded places like cafes or fairs offer a chance to connect, to see, and be seen. I suppose, in a way, it's human nature to gravitate toward where life feels most vibrant, even if it means dodging a few elbows along the way.